About a month from now, Nunsense starts, but you're just a couple of weeks away from returning to this area.
I'm going to return like a vengeance, like Montezuma's revenge. Hello, Fredericksburg. I'm here, and I'm going to cause trouble.
Good. We need trouble in this area.
Well, I love this musical. Danny Goggin has written several Nunsense musicals, but this was the first version that he wrote. And I still consider it his best of the several he's written. And I know it's an audience pleaser because I toured with it, and audiences everywhere love Nunsense. What is more darling than singing and dancing nun?
And you as a singing and dancing nun.
I know, Reverend Mother Struthers.
Mother Struthers. Yeah, each night at Camelot, I tell the audience that I talked to Pope Francis about 6 weeks ago. And Pope Francis said, I'm sending Mother Struthers to lead the convent at Riverside from May 18th to July 10th. And the audiences go nuts. So, yeah, I even tell him I'm on a first-name basis with Pope Francis. So I can't wait for him to come here and see the show.
Oh, can you imagine? He has to sit in the back, didn't he, so that he doesn't have to wave the whole time?
That's true. That is very, very true.
Can you imagine just seeing the Pope back there? And gosh, I'm so tired. I have to wave the holy.
You know, the whole musical is entertaining, and each nun has her own personality, and the group of them together are quite a motley crew. But my favorite scene in the show is when the Reverend Mother inadvertently gets higher than a kite. She confiscates a bag from one of the students, and there's a little bottle inside, and she takes a whiff of it, and she's gone.
A master class in improvisation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's certainly not on the page. You have to come up with how you're going to handle being higher than a kite.
Yep.
Sally, you are so good at that, of doing that, of having those moments. I've seen you on the Riverside stage, and you know how to play the part.
Well, other people that are less kind than you, Ted, would say you know how to milk it for all it's worth. Well, I love physical comedy, as Lucille Ball did. My gravestone is going to say, "Here lies a clown." My whole reason for living since I was 2 years old is to make people laugh. That's my music. When I hear people laughing, I'm transported to heaven.
Yeah.
And so this is a very silly, wonderful, darling, inoffensive musical, and you don't have to have been raised in the Catholic Church to appreciate this one.
When you mentioned Lucille Ball, that is such a great comparison, because as I think about her in certain scenes and you in the really the kind of the comedy scenes, you really do have a lot of her in you, of how just especially your facial expression sometimes.
I almost once did not get cast in a Neil Simon show because Lucy Arnaz, Lucille Ball's daughter, told me that Neil Simon doesn't think blonde women can be funny on stage.
Isn't that something? Wow.
And thank God I was able to prove him wrong, and he let me play one half of The Odd Couple.
Huh. Interesting.
You know, Sally, one of my favorite moments in Annie is the scene where you excused yourself and went into the vestibule. And you let loose, and then you get it all out, and then you come back in, compose yourself. That to me is a favorite, all-time favorite.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah. So I hope there's one of those moments in Nunsense.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
I congratulate you for keeping Riverside Center for the Performing Arts still a viable and exciting place in the face of this 2-year-plus pandemic. I don't know how you've done it, but my hat is off to you. My habit is off to you.
Sally, coming from you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but you know how I feel about this place and what we've built, and I was bound and determined to keep it relevant, keep it going, keep our people employed, and I had to keep it going because I couldn't wait for you to come back to be on the stage. So there you have it.
All that pretty talk. You flatter me.
What's COVID been like for you, Sally? It's for all actors, I would think. This has been a rough, tough time.
Ted, there's a couple ways to answer that. One is financially, it's been a disaster, as it has been for people on this planet worldwide who have lost their businesses, lost their homes, lost their daily wages, been forced to move in with relatives, been going on the street, whatever is happening to them, it's worldwide. So I don't feel alone in this. On the other hand, all I've done for the last 25 years is travel and be on one stage after another, not always on a tour of one show, but going to Riverside and Fredericksburg and doing a show and immediately leaving there and going to Texas to do a show for 6 weeks and then going to Connecticut to do, and living out of a suitcase for months on end. And being home during the pandemic and being shut down, I finally was starting to no longer refer to my house as my vacation home. It became my home again, and I didn't know when it started that it would be the last year of my dog's life, little Brad, but I got to spend every day of the last year of his life with him, and I am eternally grateful for that. So I don't have any complaints other than seeing the overall devastation that this pandemic has caused.
And now especially, it's important for people to come back, and especially in this area, come on back to Riverside. It's safe. It's everything is back to normal, and just like you say, the financial devastation. Places like Riverside need people to return, and they can do that with Nunsense.
Yeah, and bring some friends, because they're going to tell you afterwards they had one of the best times of their lives.
Absolutely, and everybody needs to laugh right now. So This is the show to get that going for sure.
Yeah, if you come to the theater, then I don't have to come to all of your houses, because I would be just exhausted.
Yes, that would be too much. Well, I know Patrick can't wait for you to get here, because as we have talked about all the different shows leading up to this, we always talk about the show with Mother Struthers making her return to Fredericksburg.
Well, it has become a second home for me, I must admit. I really look forward to returning all the time. I feel like it's Brigadoon, it appears out of the mist, and there it is, and I get to enjoy every moment of it, and then when I leave, it disappears into the mist again. I sometimes, in my rich fantasy life, do not believe that Fredericksburg exists except for when I go there. We wait for you to come back, Sally.
and then Fredericksburg comes back to life.
It comes back to life. It does.
Yep. When you pull in. Yep.
That freeze motion stops, and you all go back to walking and eating and talking. Yeah.
That's it.
It does.
That's it.
It all revolves. It's all about you, Sally.
Well, we're going to have a great time. I'll tell you that much. This is going to be fun times in Fredericksburg, Stafford County.
And if you want to bookend and really become popular with your friends, take them to Camelot. And then take them to Nunsense, and they will walk out of here after both of those and just say, I am hooked.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah,
I can't wait for you to see.
Patrick's done something new with Camelot that's really not to the extent of the way it is now at Riverside. It's never been done this way before, where he, likens the musical Camelot to the Camelot period in American history when the Kennedys were in the White House. And it's such a clever juxtaposing of a little bit of the Kennedys with a lot of Camelot.
It is.
I'm coming in early for rehearsal just so that I'll be there before it closes. I've got to see it.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for you to see it.
Yep. You're going to have your tissues ready.
Yeah, I do cry a lot at your shows.
Well,
those are the comedies.
Yeah.
Well, Sally, we can't wait to see you in person and get you on the stage at Riverside. And it has been great talking to you. And Nunsense is going to be just a fabulous part of the spring and summer in this community.
Thank you. And I want all the people that come to watch to realize that the only two places I'm getting air on my body during the performance is my hands and my face.
That's a little too much information for me to handle right now.
We're going to try to see if we can hook up a little fan underneath your
My habit?
your habit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Maybe a tutu with a fan. There you go.
Well, Sally, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Ted.
Thanks,
Good
Sally.
luck for me.